Hello everyone. The science sector is one of the fastest growing sectors of the UK economy. At the same time, only 6% of people with a learning disability are in work. 85% of the autistic community is unemployed. Let's take Izzy as an example. Izzy is hugely curious about the world around her and loves experimenting at home. She has an incredible memory, attention to detail, and loves repetition and absorbing vast numbers of facts. Izzy has autism and attends a special school to help her with her sensory processing needs. Izzy's adult life could take two paths. Like many of her counterparts with autism, she will most likely spend her adult career in a care home or day centre. Or, with your help tonight, children like Izzy could take a different path, embracing her talent for science and discovery. To overcome the big global challenges we face today, our scientists and engineers of the future need to come from all walks of life, bringing different experiences and problem-solving abilities with them. Lightyear Foundation is a science charity that breaks down barriers to disabled children participating in STEM, opening up the exciting world of science for all, regardless of ability or background. This spans from the recreational, from having fun with science at home, all the way through to helping children like Izzy recognise that STEM is a viable career option. One of the ways we do this is by uniting the STEM sector through our unique network, SEN in STEM. Part of its appeal is that this isn't just a nice thing to do. Employers are starting to recognise that here is an opportunity to tap into a brilliant business solution. A huge untapped pool of talent lies in the disabled community, and it's time that businesses started to understand the value and the skills that this diversity brings. Autistic individuals, for example, often have outstanding technical and maths skills, with the ability to spot patterns and anomalies, and typically enjoy repetitive work. Visually impaired mathematicians are known for being great at geometric maths, as they're not constrained by the visual. Therese Hunt completed her master's degree in biomechanics despite being unable to hold a pen or use a computer. She has cerebral palsy, and as a result, she had to dictate every word of her exams and her dissertation. In her own words, "I believe very strongly that disabled people shouldn't just be written off. We passionately agree." Garat Vermeij is also another example, a distinguished paleontologist. He uses tactile feel to inspect relics and fossils, as he's been blind since he was 3. Because he can't lean on his sight, colleagues have said that Vermeij has singular insight into evolution, absorbing details of layers and shapes that might otherwise have gone unnoticed. This goes to show the STEM industry has benefited from disabled scientists and how it will continue to do so should we make it an inclusive industry. SEN in STEM brings together STEM organisations, businesses and visitor attractions to improve access whilst inspiring STEM careers. To transform the sector, we want to start from the ground up. Please raise your hands if you ever remember visiting a science museum or a planetarium as a child, or an adult. Yeah, loads of us. These are usually common and brilliant experiences for young children, and they often ignite curiosity and excitement into the world of science. However, they can be overwhelming and scary places that are hard to navigate if you have additional needs. To increase the number of disabled STEM professionals, we need to ensure that disabled children can access these centres in order to be inspired to want to go on to work in STEM. So from adding braille to exhibits, to having warnings before loud noises or quiet spaces for when it all gets too much. And if you think accessing a science centre might be hard, getting a job in STEM if you're disabled is even more daunting. For example, just 2% of the Royal Astronomical Society's researchers are disabled. This is a problem replicated across the sector. Our SEN in STEM network is a bold, new project transforming the sector. Lightyear is a tiny charity, but by linking up these organisations, we're already having a transformational effect. When our CEO spoke at the Royal Society's Diversity Conference, she was overwhelmed with people from loads of different STEM organisations wanting to know what they could do. They were attempting to do inclusion on a small scale, but didn't really know where to start or who to look for help. afraid of using the wrong terminology or confused by inclusive techniques, Lightyear set up this network to tackle the issue, offer practical support and upskill organisations to dismantle these barriers to inclusion. Now we are a thriving network with nearly 30 members. We have the chance to make enormous change. There are 800,000 disabled children living in the UK. This SEN in STEM network could be the gateway to 800,000 disabled children's access to STEM. So what happens in this SEN in STEM network to create change? With your support tonight, we will be able to hold regular face-to-face roundtables, discussing key issues, sharing best practice and forging collaborations. We'll be able to then create resources and catapult this change to as many organisations as we can reach. We'll also act as a triage service, providing practical support and advising organisations. An example of this is our previous work with the Science Museum in London. We helped them implement sensory calming kits based on shared knowledge from other members of our network. So what do we need to do next? We are a tiny team of just 2 staff doing just 1 day a week each. So we've been managing this network alongside many other projects that we do. With your help, we'd like to fund a dedicated team member to run this network 1 day a week. SEN in STEM has huge potential to transform the lives of thousands of disabled children and also inspire future STEM careers. Let's make sure that children like Izzy have the opportunity to flourish into the STEM professionals that they are ready to become. Thank you.